देखेंगे अनिता देसाई के बारे में। ये इनकी कविता के बारे में है। आई सी इंडिया थ्रू माई मदर्स आइज एज एन आउटसाइडर बट माई फीलिंग्स फॉर इंडिया आर माई फादर्स ऑफ समवन बोर्न हियर। अनिता देसाई की ये कथन है। अनिता देसाई वॉज बोर्न इन मसूरी टू अ German mother, Tony Naim, and a Bengali father, D.N. Majumdar, on June 24, 1937. She graduated with honors in English literature from the University of Delhi in 1957. The following year, Anita Desai married Ashwin Desai, the director of a computer software company and author of book Between Eternity's Ideas on Life and the Cosmos. They have 4 children, including Booker Prize winning novelist Kiran Desai. She made her debut as a novelist with Cry the Peacock, which was followed by an equally well-crafted Voyages in the City. She was especially noted for her sensitive portrayal of female characters and the alienation of the middle-class women in India. She is praised as one of the finest of Indian writers writing in English. Anita Desai is one of those few Indian novelists in English who have tried to understand closely the predicament of their female characters. She, Anita Desai herself, contributes psychic novels which she narrates as purely subjective. Anita Desai only writes in English. This Anita Desai has repeatedly said, was a natural and unconscious choice of her. I can state definitely that I didn't choose English in a deliberate and conscious act, and I would say perhaps it was the language that chose me, and I started writing stories in English at the age of 7 and have been doing so for 30 years now without stopping to think why. Anita Desai has received numerous awards, including Sahitya Akademi Awards in 1978 for Fire on the Mountain, Guardian Prize in 1983 for children's fiction for Village by the Sea, and Anita Desai also has been shortlisted thrice for the Booker Prize in 1980 for Clear Light of the Day, in 1984 In Custody, and in 1999 for Fasting Feasting. She also received Padma Bhushan in 2040. Her novels, Anita Desai novels and short stories evoke characters, events, and moods with recourse to a rich use of visual imagery and detail, which has led to comparison with the modernist sensibilities of T.S. Eliot, William Faulkner, and Virginia Woolf. The origin of her story, as the writer explains, is itself rooted in images. There are so many images that remain in the mind, but they often are also forgotten. They pass through one's life and then they vanish. But there are certain images, certain characters, certain words that you find. You don't see loss, you remember, they stay with you, and eventually these come together. You begin to see with what the connection is between them. Novels. Anita Desai novels. Cry the Peacock, 1963. Anita Desai's first novel is divided into 3 parts: a short introduction and conclusion in objective, third-person narrative, and a long subjective middle narrated by neurotic heroine Maya In Maya's narrative, Desai employs stream of consciousness to fill in details of Maya's past and to chronicle the progressive deterioration of both Maya's relationship with her husband Gotama and her own mental poise and sanity. It deals with the character of hungry Maya. The peacock's cry, Pia Pia, seemed to her as the cry to a lover. Her desire for a love of her husband remained unsatisfied. She died childless. The action of the novel begins in fourth year of their marriage. Anda Desai portrays the psychic tumult of a young and sensitive married girl Maya, who is daughter of a rich advocate in Lucknow, being alone in the family, her mother being dead and brother having gone to America to carve his own independent destiny. She gets the most of her father's affection and attention, and in her moments of affliction exclaims to herself, "No one, no one else loves me as my father does." Antadasai said. The excessive love Maya gets from her father makes her have a lopsided view of life. She feels Maya. She feels the world to be a toy made especially for her, painted in her favorite colors and set moving according to her tunes. Having lived a carefree life under the indulgent attention of her loving father, Maya desires to have similar attention from her husband Gotama, a father surrogate. When Gotama, a busy, prosperous lawyer, too much engrossed in his own vocational affairs, fails to meet her demands, she feels neglected and miserable. Gotama fails to satisfy her intense longing for love and life. She is left to the solitude and silence of the house which prey upon her. She muses over her husband's lack of love for her and once, in a fit of intense despair and agony, tells him, "Oh, you know nothing of me, and how can I love? How I want to love, how it is important to me, but you have never loved, and you don't love me." While Maya reveals in the world of the senses, Gotama rejects it entirely. According to astrologers' prophecy, one of them must die. Maya decides to kill Gotama because, in her view, he has rejected all that makes life worth living. Hence, to her, he is already dead. Unable to resolve her conflict with Gotama, Maya pushes him from a terrace, thereby terminating her struggle. Maya's slow advance towards insanity is the theme of the novel, and the main pattern is the contrast between woman's response to the world through her senses and her husband's response through his intellect. Meenakshi Mukherjee's voices in the